The eviction notice hit the door like a gunshot. Paper flapping, baby crying. Neighbors watching from behind cracked blinds. He stood there smiling. Laughing, actually. "Pack faster," he mocked. "The bank owns this place now." Clara Hayes held her child tighter, standing barefoot on cold concrete. No coat, no car, no time. Her husband, ex-husband now, raised his phone, recording the moment like a trophy. "This is what happens when you're useless," he said loud enough for everyone to hear. Someone gasped. Someone whispered her name. And then, his phone buzzed. Once, twice. His smile froze. Because the notification on that screen didn't come from her. It came from the bank. Stay with me. What happened next turned the power upside down. Clara Hayes wasn't always standing on sidewalks with a baby on her hip. She used to be invisible in a different way. A woman who filled out forms no one read twice. Who worked numbers while men took credit. Who left work early to pick up a sick child while promotions went to louder voices. She married Michael Hayes young. Too young. He had charm, ambition, and a way of turning her patience into his shield. When money came, it came to him. When debts followed, they landed on her. The witnesses that morning were ordinary. Neighbors. A sheriff's deputy. A landlord pretending not to care. Michael stood tall in a pressed jacket, confidence dripping. He'd already told them the story. Deadweight wife, bad decisions, eviction justified. What no one saw, what Michael never bothered to learn, was that Clara didn't just work with numbers. She understood systems. And systems remember everything. Michael laughed as the locks were changed. Actually laughed. Phones were out. Someone recorded. He didn't stop them. He waved once, like this was a victory parade instead of an eviction. "Smile," he told Clara. "You'll thank me later." The baby cried. Sharp. Panicked. The sound cut through the street, but not through Michael. Clara said nothing. She adjusted the blanket around her daughter. Checked the diaper bag. Calm hands. Too calm for a woman who had just lost her home. That was the first thing that unsettled him. Inside the apartment, Michael strutted, already on a call. "Yeah, finally free," he said. She was dragging me down. Outside, Clara sat on the curb and opened her phone. Not to beg. Not to call family. She opened files. Months ago, quietly, carefully, she'd started saving copies. Bank alerts Michael never read. Transfers labeled consulting. Shell. Accounts opened in states he'd never visited. A business credit line taken out in her name, forged signature and all. She remembered every night he'd said, "Don't worry about it." She worried anyway. A neighbor leaned down. "You okay?" Clara nodded once. Then she hit send. One email went to the bank's fraud department. Another to a compliance officer whose name Michael had once bragged about knowing. A third to a number she'd memorized from an old onboarding manual. Internal audits. Michael's phone buzzed. Once. He ignored it. Then again. He frowned. Inside the apartment, his laptop chimed. A notification popped up. Then another. He stepped to the window, irritation creeping in. Outside, Clara stood. She didn't look up at him. She rocked her baby gently and waited. Because systems don't shout. They move. And once they start, they don't stop. Michael's smile disappeared first. Then the color drained from his face. Inside the apartment, his laptop locked itself. Mid-click. A red banner filled the screen. Access restricted. Contact administrator. "What?" he muttered, laughing once. "Forced? No, that's not funny." His phone rang. Private number. He answered with confidence already cracking. "Yeah?" "Mr. Reed," a calm voice said, too calm. "This is compliance from North Atlantic Bank. We need you to stop all transactions immediately." Michael straightened. "There must be a mistake." "There isn't," the voice replied. "Multiple irregular transfers. Forged authorizations. A shell structure routed through your wife's identity." The word wife hit harder than any accusation. Outside, neighbors had gathered. Someone whispered. Someone pointed. Michael rushed to the window. Clara stood below, looking up now. Not angry. Certain. His phone buzzed again, then again. Email notifications stacked like dominoes falling. Account frozen. Credit line suspended. Asset review initiated. "What did you do?" he shouted out the window. Clara didn't raise her voice. "I told the truth," she said. A black SUV rolled up to the curb. Then another. 2 men stepped out, suits, badges clipped to their belts. "Michael Reed?" One called. Michael backed away from the window, breath shallow. "This is harassment." "No," the agent said calmly, entering the building. "This is enforcement." The hallway filled with footsteps. Michael's knees hit the couch as if it might save him. It didn't. Downstairs, an agent knelt beside Clara, spoke gently, asked if she needed medical help, offered water. Another approached the locksmith. "Reverse the lock," he ordered. The locksmith hesitated, then obeyed. Click. The door opened. Upstairs, Michael was escorted out. No shouting now. No jokes. Just shaking hands and a face that finally understood what power actually sounded like. On the sidewalk, he saw her again. Clara, holding their baby, standing in front of the home he thought he owned. The agent read aloud. "Assets seized pending investigation, fraud, identity misuse, domestic financial abuse." Michael tried to speak. No one listened. The cameras that once filmed his victory now captured his fall. Silence followed him. Heavy. Finale. The street didn't cheer. It watched. Quietly. The kind of silence reserved for moments that feel permanent. Michael Reed was placed in the back of the SUV. Not in handcuffs, but stripped of something worse, control. The doors closed softly. Final. The engine pulled away without urgency. Power no longer rushed for him. Clara stood still. Neighbors stepped closer now. Not to stare, but to stand with her. A woman offered a blanket. A man picked up the baby's dropped sock. Someone whispered, "You did the right thing." Inside the apartment, the locks were changed again. This time, for her. Days later, the court documents came through. Emergency housing protection. Full custody. A restraining order. The judge didn't smile when he read Michael's charges, but his voice carried weight when he said Clara's name with respect. The bank issued a public statement. Fraud confirmed. Assets seized. Ongoing investigation. Michael's friends stopped calling. His social feeds went silent. The life he built on humiliation collapsed under truth. Clara didn't celebrate. She rebuilt. Slow mornings. Safe nights. A crib placed by a window where sunlight came in soft. She returned to work, quietly, confidently. This time, on her terms. One evening, she walked past the building where it all happened. The sidewalk was clean now. No crowd, no cameras. Just her reflection in the glass, standing tall, still gentle, still strong. Because dignity doesn't shout, it waits. And when the truth finally speaks, it changes everything. Sometimes justice doesn't come with applause. It comes with silence, and the sound of a door finally closing behind you.